Is it bad that I sent a package to one of my closest friends and sent him a gift? I sent him a gift of a knife.
I haven't received
A
it
hard.
yet. So,
It was another very good friend.
oh,
One
okay.
that's not into knives. He thinks he is because his dad collected knives, and by knives I mean gas station knives. He had hundreds of QVC purchased knives. You know,
It's a bundle pack. You get the
home of the
sword, you get the Bowie, you get the
right.
everything.
If
Yeah.
there's a dentist in the county that makes a Swiss Army knife with his phone number on it, he had it. That kind of stuff. Well, I gifted him a knife, Tom, after probably 9 months of trying to decide what to give the man, and I
Yeah.
did not give him a club coin because I'm down to so few that I didn't give him a club coin.
Well, he has to earn it. He has to
I'm
carry that
saying,
knife. Carry that knife to earn it.
yep.
Is this what was the knife? I have a feeling it's something pretty nice, wasn't it?
I gave him my tactile turn Maverick.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I wanted a knife that he would carry, that's lightweight, that would be usable to him, that would be slim in the pocket,
Yeah.
that he would probably wear to the office. The guy works at he works at the second wealthiest company in the world. He would be amazed by the Magna Cut, I think. So also he has a house on the water, and the Magna Cut would be nice for him. So I went that route. I was going to go Spyderco, but I couldn't really think of one that would suit his style. So I'm going to start with this one.
I've been having a harder time finding a Spyderco that's like perfect for someone that's brand new. When there's so many options now, it's like Spydercos are great, but there's a lot of other stuff.
I mean, for me, it's like you can make the argument for a lot of Spydercos. This is a pretty good topic for everybody today. Maybe we talk a little bit about this is FFIB, and I'm Jason S. Tom. We talk about the fact that when you're given a knife for the first time, there's a lot to consider. Like, who's going to carry it? Will he or she find it weird or bulky or clunky or whatever? Boiler the fuck up, Bill Booth. That's right. Boilermaker one. Yep, and it looks like, is there another game? I think there's another game tonight.
Who's tonight? Men's
The
or
Atlanta
women's?
Braves are playing the Puppies.
What?
It's the A team with the dog.
Oh, Alabama?
Could be Bama. Yeah, they stole the Braves logo.
Oh, okay.
What's that about? Patrick, why Bama? Why do they have the Atlanta Braves logo? What's that about? I'm just crapping on these teams. I'm just joking. Yeah, so when you're thinking about a beginner knife for somebody, a Shaman, bad choice, right?
Horrible choice.
PM2,
maybe the worst.
As much as I love a PM2, and I do love them, it's probably not a great choice as a gift because it's just so strange in the way that it sits in your pocket compared to other knives that somebody might have started with. I don't know that it's a great starter.
It's scary is part of it. You want someone that's new into knives. You'll pull out a knife and it not be like, oh fuck, that's a big knife.
It's just so much hole.
Yeah.
That's what I think bothers me the most about it is the hole stands so tall out of it. It looks like a submarine.
It's an awkward knife to carry. It'll tear up your pockets. It's a great knife, but I think you need to ease into it. And when you break your fear of busting a knife out in public and having it be scary, it takes that intimidation factor away.
The fluted tie native, I think, is a great choice.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to get him, but it's a $300 knife now.
I remember when those were on sale for $100 and something when they're trying to clear them out.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd be the one to complain about prices, but we're getting there.
I just opened a bunch of websites and was looking at stuff. I'm like, huh, well, that's different now a little bit.
I saw a couple secondhand that I should have grabbed and I didn't. But the other thing that helped me up, Tom, was I was thinking about getting him in a Sebenza.
That's what I thought you got him. That's why.
That's where I was going to go. I was going to go Sebenza. And isn't that sad? Because Spyderco makes so many different variants and so many different models, so many different knives. Everybody likes a Dragonfly. Everybody likes a Delica. Everybody likes a Para 3. Somebody said a Tenacious in the comments here. I would not.
So expensive.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy a Tenacious ever because the price point's weird. You know, if I was going to buy a Tenacious, I would buy 2 Civivis and I'd be happier.
What about this brown Tenacious M4 for $142?
$142 for a Tenacious in a steel that's been around since the 50s.
And it's a not golden Colorado made knife. I bought my Tenacious for $36 when I bought it.
Hold on. How much was the white Mannix?
$128.
Okay.
And it's still in stock.
Stop it. So you can get a Mannix.
129. Yep.
You can get a USA made golden Colorado Mannix for less than a Tenacious with the same or better steel.
So that's the one cool thing that I've noticed about how Spyderco sucks in getting exclusives out quickly. But it seems like when they were contracting these exclusives, there was a while ago, and they're able to carry those prices for. So it seems like exclusives are like the way to go right now because they're cheaper than a lot of the normal variants.
You brought up something really astute, Tom. That is true. When you do a contract for a exclusive, the price stays what it was when you bought it.
Yeah.
So if you wait 4 years for an exclusive,
they're bargain.
Then it's cheaper. Yeah, Patrick just got his first CRK. I know he's been talking about it for a while, so good job, Patrick.
I'm still so torn on which one I want. It's gonna be a Blade Show in the moment decision.
I don't know why you're torn about it. You're gonna end up with 7, so why not just get started?
Oh, I just want the first one. I mean, I don't even know big or small yet. That's a major decision. I'm thinking small, but I was thinking big. Yes, that S90 PM2 is a good deal. The problem with it I have is that color is not friendly to any sort of dirt or dust or fingers or smudges, and that can be annoying.
Yeah, but it's beautiful.
It's very beautiful color. It just gets really dirty.
I want a guitar in this color.
That would be cool.
If my car was that color, I would not complain.
Those are a steal. Those were on sale for Black Friday for like $130.
I know.
An S90V blade that you could never get since like 2010 when they did the sprint run. They finally did it in a PM2, and no one cares.
So I figure I got him the Maverick. It's going to be a blade that's really, really nice to cut with, and it's going to be something that's comfortable to carry, and it's going to be good in the pockets, lightweight. He'll probably actually carry it. And thinking about his daily activities in the office, he's probably a khakis guy, so it'll fit down in the pocket really deep, and he'll be able to carry the thing. So I like that. The other runner-up was a TRM Atom. Hard to beat a TRM Atom, and I happen to have one with tie scales, which makes it even better. But I took mine apart the other night because it's not centered, and that knife, respectfully, is assembled strange. They need to revise it because I pull the 4 screws off the scales and the 2 screws out of the clip to take the scales off. And now once I'm inside the knife, there are 4 more screws that hold the knife together. And I find that it's very, very difficult to center the knife and then put everything back together again because of the interior construction.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
All I knew is that they were easy to scale swap.
That's nice. It's a nice feature. No question. But if you really want to dial those knives in, like say what you will about a PM2, it's kind of jank. It's got a little bit of jank in there, but you can work with it. You know what I mean? I like to think of it as like a late 60s muscle car from the US. You can do a lot with it, right? Yeah. But is it perfect out of the factory?
This has become my recommendation. Not this one, but a Sage 5 lightweight has become my first knife because they always have perfect action. They're small, they're light. The FRN on them is smokes Seiki FRN. It's not even close. There has that pivot bushing, better action than any of my pair of 3s, and it's out of the box. They work. And the thing I like about this, the thing I hate about recommending PM2s and pair of 3s is the person never has to touch the screws, and they don't ever have to break the Loctite. They never have to worry about any screws backing out if they just leave it alone. And that's I have a couple PM2s that I've never touched. I like the fact I don't have to check the screws all the time.
Sage 5 lightweight is definitely hard to beat. I don't love the factory screws. factory screws kind of weird,
Yeah.
especially on the Sage 1.
Hmm.
But what's really great about the 5, I'm going to take mine apart here and show you guys in a minute. There's a bushing back here at the pivot. And the bushing you could think of as a spacer, but it's also a pivot.
Yes.
And it's the secret behind a Sabenza. And why I
Mhm.
like this Sabenza better than Cozy. When the knife is clamped down and dialed in, it just works great. You don't have to worry about screws coming out. You don't have to worry about the game that you play with PM2s where you're trying to find the sweet spot where the knife pivots properly, but not too tight that the knife doesn't move at all. You don't have to do that game when you have a knife with a bushing in it.
The
So
only
look at
pair
the,
of threes I carry anymore are the ones that I can crank the screws down 100% and not think about it because
so
blade play drives me nuts.
yeah, our friends that make aftermarket scales have figured out the magic sauce and they're able to dial in those so good. Like the Rips Garage Tech, if you buy his titanium scales, you don't have to worry about playing the screw game.
No.
Sounds like you found the same thing with the Barclay.
Yeah, so this is my new thing I got today. These are Barclay Draco's Armor bronze scales, and they look absolutely sick. I already have a set of scales from Barclay. They are a Cutlery Shop exclusive set. This, which has like it's just titanium and it's got like inlaid ano.
Yeah.
But these ones, the pattern CNC'd in, and it just looks so cool. But the fit up on these are knives plus screws, which are really good. Are good. They're fine. They're as good as factory, I'd say. But I screwed them 100% in. There's zero blade play, and it drops shut just like it needs to drop shut. It's not as good as the Sage though, but it's pretty damn good.
So I have my Sage open, and what you see on the inside is you've got 2 standoffs and a lanyard tube. I
Gotta
really
have
don't.
lanyard.
I wish you guys would write into the company and tell them you don't care about lanyard tubes anymore. But we got a lanyard tube. But the magic in this knife is here at the pivot. At the pivot, there's a bushing,
Still on.
and the bushing fits on top of the pivot. So the bushing provides friction in this direction, or it provides a smooth path for the blade as it moves. But more importantly, when the top scale sits on top of here, it squeezes down on the bushing, not on the blade. So in
Mm.
your PM2 and Para 3, as you tighten down the screws, you're actually compressing the washers into the blade, and you're increasing pressure between the washers and the blade. So blade play can occur if it's not tight enough, and then friction occurs when you tighten it too much. So for those of you worried about my naughty bits, they're fine. The blade bounced off of the chair, not me.
Out of vasectomy, it's not a big deal. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I just wanted to say naughty bits. Yeah, so we have also a larger hole in the blade, right? Totally fine. Now, another thing they did, Tom,
Ooh, I didn't notice that.
they've milled in a stop pin. So now, inside the knife, it's right here.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. We have a forward stop pin, and then we have an open stop pin back here.
Oh, weird. Never noticed that.
Yeah, I just figured that out myself. I don't know that I've ever opened this side of the knife. So when it's closed, it hits here, but it also hits internally. And
Oh,
when the knife
nice.
is open, it stops here. One of these days, I'm going to invest in an overhead camera so we can do more of that. It'd be better than holding up blurry.
Got my overhead camera ready to
I'm okay,
go.
Jim. He opened that knife fast. I did. It's not that hard. There's 3 screws. Pulled the 3 screws out,
They're all T8s, right?
and it's our LT8s. It's got that going for it. What it doesn't have going for it is their Tai Chung screws. So that means they're not really T8s. They're like 8.4s.
Let me see.
Lots of people were arguing about whether it was a T8 Plus or a T8 Ultra or a T8 Hyper. It's like, guys, they didn't go that far.
It's a
It just doesn't
Spyderco.
fit that great.
Yeah. I mean, these
So
screws aren't titanium though. These are steel screws in this compared to the easy to strip Bowie screws.
I do love this tinitride coating. It doesn't do a lot, but it looks awesome.
Exactly. It looks badass.
It looks awesome. Kind of glad I opened this. This thing's kind of greasy. I was wondering why it didn't open and close right. I think I've never put Gunny in it. So got me a project for later. Clean that up, put it back together. So people don't like the T6s. I would say that if you read the manufacturer's specs on a T6, it tells you like how much torque you can put on it. And guys will read that and they'll go, well, that's plenty enough for a pocket knife. But you're right, they do strip out pretty easy, especially those little pocket clip screws.
Yes. So this is something everyone needs to have this site in their bookmarks, usaKnifeMaker.com. Because you can go in here, if you strip a screw and you go 2-56T8. And then you go get yourself a screw for your clips that are like the Mannix. Because the Mannix they use, why isn't that searching? Go.
Get rid of your cookies.
There we go. Uh-oh, I broke it. There we go. So here you can go and get clip screws, 25 of them for $3. It's going to cost you more to ship them. If you have Aramis scales, you want 1/4 inch thread, 2-56 button head screws, and you can get T8s to replace that. If you have normal scales, you want the 3/16 inch ones. So save that, put on your bookmarks. Next time you have a stripped pocket screw or you have something that won't fit or you have custom scales that are too long, you can just go there and spend the $8 it costs to get them shipped to you.
Good tip, Tom. That's nice. PZim wants to know how the grip is on the Barclay Draco.
Oh, it's perfect. It's not like sharp at all. It's very, very smooth and tumbled and no sharp edges, just a good texture. It's grippy, but I can put it in my pocket and it's not going to like tear up my pocket at all because it's still smooth enough.
They look cool.
They look really cool. He dropped 10 sets of PM2 this morning that they sold out in like 2 hours. He's going to do more. I've been talking to him quite a bit over the last couple of days. I knew he has a CNC business, but I didn't realize like this is like a total side thing that he just thinks is awesome and wants to like have fun with.
I wish him well. I hope it goes great.
Yes, Christian. 2-56 is only for American-made Spyderco. Maybe Japan-made Spydercos. I don't know. They'd make metric make sense, but I've used screws on the Japan ones and they work fine. But Taichung uses metric screws, so they're like a M2 or 3 or whatever it is.
2 or 3 or whatever it is.
I remember we were talking to Steve at Rip's Garage Deck and he couldn't figure it out even. He's like, it's something. It's not a T8.
Right. I can't just sit here and abide this knife being all lazy. Just no account. Sitting here.
Disassembled.
So I'm going to put it back together. Amaze my audience. Not drop it on my naughty bits.
People love the dropping. One time I dropped a Koenig on the show, and that was a highlight of the show for everybody. It's so funny dropping a Koenig.
My favorite part is when Tom ate shit.
Yeah. Laughing with me, huh?
Just keep them laughing with you.
But today, I haven't been sharpening much, but I started again today. I did a Sabenza, and it turned out pretty money. It's the first Sabenza I've done that didn't have a mirror, and it was kind of nice, just like doing a normal 20-degree edge satin finish on a MagnaCut Sabenza. It was nice. It was a treat.
You know, I will say this. I used to think it was really stupid, and I just didn't want to hear it when people would say that, you know, the Reeve knives just feel more grown up.
Yeah.
But the more I carry, the more I agree. Like when you have one in your pocket, it's definitely more grown up than having like some sort of, you know, orange FRCP knife.
The only thing that throws that off
green.
is the tail, the lanyard that throws it off to me. It doesn't match. Here
The
we
lanyard.
go.
Just cut it
Christian's
off.
got the answer. Japan is M2.3. Interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. 256 sort of fits, but it's slightly smaller. You just slap Loctite on it, he says. That works.
Leather with Loctite is an acceptable solution. That is a what we call Yankee ingenuity.
Let's see what else is going on.
I went to summer camp in 5th grade, Tom, and they actually had a course called Yankee ingenuity.
Oh,
It was
really?
basically just FFIO.
What?
Fucking figure it out.
Oh.
They left us on this obstacle course, and they're like, "You can eat when you get home." We figured it out. Ooh, better. There we go.
There you go.
Gunny glid. It's been gunny glid, Tom.
Nice.
Now it flicks and flops. Nice.
Man, Blade HQ, man, they've done so many of them in that series. I can't believe they've been doing those since June 2016. The PM2 dropped. I remember because I was like trying to debate between getting one and not getting one, and then it sold out. So I got like, that was my first time where I got like burned on something that I waited on because I didn't know stuff sold out. That was my one.
Just cut off the tail, Tom, like a Cocker Spaniel.
That's a weird thing to do. Yeah. Today I did something I haven't done before because everyone's talking about it and everyone's messaging me and asking me, and I don't know about these stones for me when I receive them. This is very well used. I've owned this for a year. I've used the shit out of it, and it works fine. But everyone's messaging me that's getting these now saying they're not cutting, so they're lapping their stones. And
Yeah.
I said, I have all the shit, so it's right there. So I did that today with my 150 and my 400. And I'm like, how do you tell when it's done? Oh, you can tell because all of a sudden, like, you start to see the middle is where all my grit is missing, and you start to work that back in. It's not really like taking off like a millimeter of material. It's like very slight. So I have, this is how you do it. This is from Half Stone. I'm sure you can get it on Amazon probably or whatever.
Damn, and they have the bright orange version.
Filson. So this is silicon carbide. What you do is you put that on a piece of glass, and you mix a little bit of water into a slurry, and then you just take your stone and you just move it around in different directions, back and forth, side to side, figure eight, whatever. Light pressure, just keeping your fingers on it. Then you look at the bottom and you'll start to see that the grit starts to like appear out of the silver and the silver starts to go away. So I did that. I've sharpened one knife since then. Two knives. One of them is a kitchen knife though. And
yeah, my stones do not cut great. The texture is amazing, but they're very slow. So I need to do that to mine.
I'll do it if you want to send them. If you don't want to buy the stuff.
That'd be great.
Learning today, and I don't know if I'm doing perfect, but they look good, and you can see where the low spots were.
Christian, you're doing better. You're doing better than most, so you have nothing to hide, nothing to fear, sir. Blakey Balake got himself a Menandi, one of the carbon fiber.
Yeah, those are so dope. They're so delicate. The tip on those, the one I've sharpened, you have to be very finesse. It's very, very pointy, very thin.
You know what else I got, Tom? I got a Koenig pen.
Oh shit! PQ.
I've talked about it, but I haven't shown it on the show yet. The detail in this is hard to capture. Do you see the little? They look like diamonds.
Yeah.
That's just the way that they milled it, dude.
Nice.
It shines in the light and it shimmers as you move it left and right. So the light refraction actually moves back and forth in the channel, which gives it like this. It gives it this diamond-like shine, and then the tip does the same. It's got a crown fluting around the edge, So as you turn it this way, it shimmers. So if you put it in your pocket, it shines while you're wearing it around the office.
Oh,
But the cool part is that the action is button here. And then to return it, you just push here and it goes out.
interesting.
So it's got these little jimpy jimps at the
Yeah.
top of the pen. So
Do you think Bill designed that, or he figured that out from copying somebody, or?
I think Bill bought every pen in the game and then figured out what no one else was doing, and he did
Yeah.
that.
Interesting.
So the fitment is amazing. Like there is no wiggle in the button. In clicks, out doesn't require a lot of pressure. Out is out. I've not yet been writing with it and had it pop on its own.
Yeah.
I was a little worried about that, but it does not. The barrel has a beautiful, beautiful finish on it that's polished in this direction.
Mm-hmm.
So without having milling, it's textured for your fingerprint.
It's like hand satin kind of.
Yes, but the directional texturing is so fine that you don't see it. It just looks like satin until you get really, really close, and you'll notice that there's lines in it. But more importantly, you feel them. So when you hold the pen, it rotates in your hand wonderfully, but your fingers don't want to slide up and down because your fingerprint grabs the lines. So, and then down here, you've got this little grip. So it runs on a G2, Pilot G2 insert. I tried putting in a Sharpie insert, and I found that the distance from here to the tip was like, I don't know, a millimeter longer, half a millimeter, and it was just enough that it stuck out the end of the barrel. So I went back to the G2. But when this is all closed up, you can't find the seam.
Oh wow!
It's just a beautifully well done pen. So in the pen game world, the tactile turn pen is still the most affordable. I think those are like $130 last I checked. So they're really nice, and they're
how much is it? You said 130?
I think the tactile turns are like 130
for
okay. Just bare stock titanium, right? This was $260, so it's quite a bit more. For the money, this is a better pen. It weighs less. It's very, very lightweight. The locking mechanism is really clever. The clip is a blasted finish. So, of course, the clip's going to get beat up. So it doesn't look like bent wire. Doesn't look like bent titanium.
Yeah.
Really a great pen. I see Brad in the comments talking about the Rips Garage Tech pen. I love, love, love the Rips pen.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
The button fire sometimes doesn't fire right. And he hasn't made them in years.
Oh, so, okay. That's why I'm like,
I think he hasn't offered them in years and years. So
yeah,
I'd love to see him make more.
Nice.
So I got to play with a prototype of this at the Makers Syndicate last year, and the finished product is just amazing. So he does drops from time to time. I bought it off the website.
I've seen him a couple times. Yeah, if you just watch the Conan group, people. That's the nice thing about the Conan group. If you want anything Conan related, people ask me all the time about like, where do you buy Koenigs? I'm like, in the Koenig buy sell trade group. There's plenty of them. There's tons of them, and they're for good prices right now. I think a lot of people hunt for them in our group when they're missing out on a lot of stuff that's just in the specific group.
One of the dumbest complaints I've seen about this pen is that it develops a little bit of a scuff here underneath the clip, and everyone's blaming it on the travel of the clip. Well, there's a space. Put it on my shiny forehead. There's a space between the clip and the barrel, so that's not it. If you've got a little bit of a shiny spot there, it's probably because you're using the pen and you're putting it in and out of your pocket, and you've just burnished it a little bit. That's it.
You know, it's the same problem. I get it, but it's like the same thing on the Bowie with the wire clip. Especially like when they ship it, they put the little sticker under the clip so it doesn't rub back and forth and leave that same little clip mark scratch.
That's not what's happening though.
Yeah.
It's the pocket. It's your pocket material rubbing underneath the clip. It's a little bit like buying a car and then complaining that the front seat has your ass shape in it after you get out. Yeah, you sat in it. Like, what did you think would happen? So some of the complaints around here are just wild. I don't understand why people like this oxygen is just too delicious and savory. I don't want any of it. Take it away. 0.5 tip on the PQD. I think they ship it with a 5. Yeah, it's pretty tight. So I pulled it out and dropped in a 1.0. I like
Yeah,
it fat and bloody looking.
that's the way to go. Well, I got a big week in front of me, I guess. By next show, I might be doing our next show. No, I'll be back. But next show, I will get to come back and report from the Oregon Knife Collectors Association show that I'm going to. And
Chase Mendenhall, how dare you? Today on growing older with knives.
so I'm excited. I get to
Tell
go
us
to a
about the
knife
show,
show.
Tom.
What's that?
Tell us about the show.
That show is in Eugene, Oregon. It has been around for a long time. The person that runs it, it looks like if you look at any of their advertising, you'd think it was made in the 70s. It looks very like whoever's doing it has been doing it for a long time, and that's the vibe of the show. But it's pretty awesome because there's a lot of cool people, and it's very low-key show. It's no booths. It's all just folding tables, including Spyderco. So
What
you
if Bill
get to,
Booth is there?
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
One booth.
Oh, I see. But like Spyderco, as in Eric Glesser, will just be there and he'll have trays covering a table of factory seconds when the show opens. And there'll be like 10, 12 people that get in line and go through the line and you can buy one knife at a time and then you have to go to the back of the line. But it goes very quickly. So last time I was just like 15 VPM 2, 15 VPM 2, 15 VPM 2 until I had like a dozen of them. So I'm excited to see what he has there. And it's the best opportunity to talk to Eric Lesser because at this show, he is not a celebrity. He's not like, I mean, people know who he is, but it's not like people mad rushing the booth to try to get time with him like it is a Blade Show. A Blade Show, he's the hottest ticket in town. At Eugene, he's just another dude selling knives at his booth. And that's where I got to meet him in 2019. And I've gone back at the years that they've had it besides COVID. And every year he's there. Last year he was there with his son. So the next generation of Spyderco was there. And just got to kick it. And it's very low key. There'll be Rich Cox flies in for it. Ed Shemp goes. Mike Kent's going. Jeff Loffer's going. My mom is going. So anyone wants to meet the legendary Mary Moore, she'll be rocking her Dragonfly, I'm sure. You can pocket check her.
Give her something cool to carry.
It's a good idea. Give her something to show off and like, I'll give her my Bowie.
Give her your touch knife.
No, I have to keep that uncarried because I'm still trying to sell the damn thing.
Did you see their new one, dude?
Yeah, I did. The titanium slip.
That's amazing. The click, I think they call it.
You know why I hate the fact that Touch makes those automatics is because whenever someone sees my knife, all they want to know is if it's an automatic or not. And then I say no, and they go, oh. Like, but it's way cheaper than those. Those are spendy.
Yeah, well, you know.
But yeah, I'll give her something fun. I'll give her my Bowie with the carbon fiber scale to show off. So she can go meet Eric and bust that out.
If you see a carbon fiber fluted native 5, grab it for me.
Okay. Oh, you mean a second?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If they have those, I'm taking the case. I can move those. I
I can find homes for these.
Yeah. But I'm excited. It's I get to go home. I'm not bringing my son this time because last time he stayed with grandma and got sick and I had to leave. So unencumbered, just going to the show to kick it for a whole day. Really
Kids
fun.
ruin everything.
Yeah, they do. They're so cute.
Do you think he's funny in Australia? Like, is he funny for Australia?
I
As far
think
as
so.
Aussies go, is he funny?
I
or is he
think
not
that's
funny?
the thing is he's Australian funny.
Toilet flush is backwards funny.
Toilet flush backwards funny. Got punched in the head by a kangaroo funny. Drop bear funny.
Eats Jimpy Jimpies.
Loves Vegemite.
Loves Vegemite.
Mm.
You want to really
Reminds me
make
of
bad?
Mace
Call it Marmite. Not Marmite, mate. Can you ask Jeff and Eric if we can get 15V or K390 Warncliffe PM2s? That's a Jeff Loffer question.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure he would love to. He probably has something on the books with the Warncliffe blade he's probably waiting on.
An Australian 10 is a Fresno 8. That's pretty good. It's not freaking Marmite. I know.
It's Chew Spit.
Tom, you do know there's Marmite and Vegemite.
I don't know what Marmite is.
Marmite is the preferred version served in New Zealand, I believe.
Ooh, that's not okay.
You have to be allied with one or the other. I have a love-hate relationship with my kids. Yeah, it's called being a parent. MJ, you're not special.
I'm not allowed. I'm only allowed to have positive because as part of being stay-at-home dad is you gotta fulfill the role all the time. Try,
but you also have to be. You got to call a spade, Tom. Like sometimes, like these, if you think about your child enough, you can cry on command just by thinking about how much you love them unconditionally and how they're literally half you, and that you look at them and they're simultaneously a baby and a grown-up at the same time. Like you can see in your son, there's moments like flickers of you go, that's what he's going to be as a man, and you cry. But then he takes a shit on your phone, and then you're just like, you're right back to, I'm going to kill this kid. So,
well, I'm lucky because I got Camden.
For me, my daughter walks that line all day.
Because Camden is just like the chillest. I just got to deal with Kinsley. She's a terror.
Oh, Marmite's English. Yeah, that would be offensive. You probably don't want to tell an Aussie to eat Marmite. Us over here just mixing it up. I like that too because it irritates everyone. Chris E is here. What's up, Chrissy? Good evening, sir. You missed earlier. Jason dropped a knife. What else? We talked about the Eugene Custom Knife Show. Talked about Koenig pen. Talked about what knife to give somebody as a gift. First knife time. Yeah, I tell you what, I may still send him this tie Adam.
You got to earn it. Got to prove it. You need to send you some pictures of like EDC pocket dump pics.
Dude, this knife is
really those are great. Does it got a little ring on the stud? That was the only thing I had to do. And I can handle that stud with the ring on it.
I took them off. I do like them though. It's a little noisy. Listen.
Can't hear it.
Oh. I just oiled it too. But yeah, it's a little tight. But man, these are just lovely in the hand. If you don't like a bigger knife, you want something a little bit smaller, the Neutron is lovely. Got a little bit of a forward pinchy pinch on it. There's no jimping.
Wait, that's the Atom. So that's the big one, right?
This is the Atom. This is a PM2 sized knife.
Okay.
But yeah, really, really excellent knife.
You know what happened since the last time I show? I didn't participate this year, but April Fool's happened. That's when the Aussie really wanted to be funny. He put a lot of effort into that stupid post.
Yeah, Dan, you really went deep on that. I can't believe how many people were like, I don't know. Maybe they're new here, Tom. Maybe they don't know that he plans his April Fool's jokes.
Yes, he
for
does.
Months. Like, there's a lot of time that goes into that.
So Dan lives in Australia, so he has the advantage of like April Fool's starts like 12 hours before it's April Fool's, but technically it's okay. So it really catches you off guard.
Found a Shadow for a decent deal on buy sell trade. Yeah, the Thai Shadow is a cool knife. Actually got to meet Les Halpern. I was at the Vero booth during Blade Show, and I was helping out because Joseph was dying of hunger. He needed to go eat, and Michelle couldn't be by herself. And the reinforcements weren't there yet because their flights were delayed. So I just threw my bag down and said, I'll help. Go eat. And so I got to help Michelle run the booth. And while we were there meeting customers and showing them Vero knives, Les Halpern stopped by. He wanted to meet Joseph himself. And while he was experimenting with Joseph's knives, don't call him Joe, he handed me his Thai Shadow right out of his pocket. He goes, here, you'll probably want to look at this one.
Nice.
And at the time, I don't think there were 10 of them in circulation. So I got to play with it. It was beautiful. It's my first April Fool's with the group. I thought Dan was dying, and I knew he had way more knives than he'd showed in that picture. Mad cunt. Yeah, Dan has many, many knives. You guys saw what was available quickly.
So I used to participate in April Fool's jokes pretty heavily, and I decided that this world is too. No, you can't believe anything anyway. So no more jokes for me. But like, I used to
Yours is
like.
one of the all-time best, Tom.
So for a couple of years, but especially the first year, obviously, I had a PM2 Photoshop to say 10V on the blade because I took an S1 10V and I just kind of like hid the one, and then I turned it. Guess what color? Teal. And I posted it in every group, and I said live at Rec right now. I didn't tell Rec that I was doing this, by the way. So they got bombarded with what's going on. It was a very successful April Fool's joke, I will have to say.
That was a
kind of rude.
very well done prank, and that was
Kind of
well
mean
before
though.
that was before the 10V came out.
That was what I'm saying. So it did something.
The new tie textures are a game changer from TRM. Great machine work from them. Their blade geometry is wonderful. Their knives cut great. I love that. I love the fact that when you use them, they cut. Also, the Halperns couldn't be better people. They're just very, very cool people. Small company. I don't know that they have more than 10 employees. Like they might. They're very, very small. If you go to the knife shows, you get to meet Marianne and Les. They're always there. So, like the people behind the knife that's in your pocket are there at the show. I love it. One of your friends asked what he had to do to get a coin. Yeah. It was a romantic gesture offered, I believe. Tell him to call.
Someone was really wanting a coin.
AF. Yes, sir.
Someone really wanted a coin in the group yesterday or the day before. They were willing to do some naughty stuff for it. That post got reported.
What they're saying. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that post got reported. Some people weren't okay with that.
Yeah. Well,
we were.
I'll be all right. I think, Tom, maybe we should source some more of these.
I like that a lot. Was that former moderator's work or that's something else?
No, it's Netflix. Anyway, yeah.
There's always the TikToks I see of like it'll be like a assembly in high school and someone on the drums will play the first.
Right.
Yeah. And everyone knows it, but I can't even think of it until I hear it, I guess.
I will train a coin for a Bowie. What a hero. Halpern's the OG of the knife world, especially when it comes to titanium. Great folks. I can't remember for the life of me the name of the club member, but one of you wonderful heroes helped me get a set of the titanium scales. At the time, they were very hard to get. And one of you knew the Halperns and said, "Hey, I know a guy. He's an admin of a group, and he loves your knives, and he would love to have a set of titanium scales." So these scales, I paid for them, but they were very hard to get. And so sweet Miss Hillary, Knife Diva, she managed to hook me up with these. So thank you to TRM and Hillary. So yeah, I love their company. I love the fact that made in the U.S. They've always been made in the U.S. They're considerate with their customers. They protect their brand.
They make mule scales too.
They make mule scales. That's true.
Yeah.
Longtime friends of the Glessers, so they've been in the Spyderco war as well. I have a theory. It's not proven. They were the ones that made the titanium scales for the militaries.
I would think that's a pretty good guess. I would guess those aren't made in house because that's some serious machinery that they don't use anymore.
I don't know that they've ever owned it.
Yeah, exactly.
That patch is banned in Texas. That's right. If you're in Texas, you have to provide a credit card. Prove age. Yeah, I don't have a great place to order patches, guys. We did a club patch once, and the guy that hooked us up was unethical. So I'm not ever going to give him any more business. So, in fact, he was such a pain in the ass. I didn't even use the design anymore, even though it was my design. He wanted a royalty on everything we ever did with that, and he did not earn that. So, yeah,
In
I need
general,
to
the
find a
request for
source because we know someone that would sell it for us.
I don't know. The constant requests I see like every day or two for like we need a hat, we need a patch, we need a bracelet or a lanyard or whatever it is. It's like I agree. I wish there was an easier way to do it. Then I don't know. I don't like harassing our friends at dealers to post our stuff. That's like kind of the only way.
Tom and I don't have a way to sell this stuff in a way that's worthwhile. I have an idea, Tom, that we'll have to brainstorm.
Okay.
We might try something. But yeah, we would probably ultimately need a dealer to help. I think if we were to go with one item, a hat would makes the most sense to me.
It does because
I know you love sweatshirts, Tom, and I know you love the idea of a club sweatshirt, but I don't know how to pre-order hats or something that people would buy. They would just buy them.
Yeah. And it's nice because there's no sizes. So you can just get right?
Right.
They fit. They're like two.
Ultimately, that's the biggest problem with a sweatshirt. You're gonna need a T4 for kids for some people, and you're gonna need a 5X for others. A super chat set up to donate to the channel.
Ooh.
I don't love asking you guys for money for stuff. It's crossed my mind. Like Tom and I spend about $300 a year just for the software that we use to run this, and we don't bake it into other things. We're not trying to get rich by running a knife club. And
pretty sure my balance so far is very much a negative of profitability.
Yeah, we made a little bit of money on the first run of coins, like a couple bucks, but it wasn't worth it in the end because of the time it took and the $400 label printer I bought. It all just sort of disappeared. I had to tip my nieces to help me pack everything. So
yeah,
I don't know. We've thought about monetizing this, you guys, but Tom and I both agree that not being bought and paid for by sponsors means that we can speak our mind and we can be objective. And when we say we like something, we like it. If somebody gives us something, we'll tell you. And it allows us to stay objective, I think, versus if we were paid for. So if the day comes that we can monetize this and we can both quit our jobs and just be a knife weasels, that'd be cool. But for now, I don't see that happening.
I mean, I've been trying for over a year to be a knife weasel without a job. It's hard.
It's hard. Chris, I
make
appreciate
enough money
you.
to support my addictive sweatshirt habit, and that's about it.
Yeah, Chris, we appreciate you. Thank you. I want people to be able to enjoy this and not have to pay stuff. So when we offer merch, I want it to be cool and I want it to be cheap. One thing I like for sure is if I can find a member that is in the business and they can just run with it, then that's great. So, for example, I'm pretty sure it's still a pinned post at the top. There's a lady out in Baltimore, Maryland that does laser etching on things, and she can get you club logo on anything you want, like cutting boards and pint glasses and things like that. We don't make any money from that. We just let her use the logo, but she's provides a service and she's got a good website. If you want a club coin slip, Brandon White makes the coin slips. We don't charge him anything, but he invested in the stamp to be able to make these. So the $24 goes to him. It's not our money. So, we're okay with sharing the wealth with club members that are into that stuff. It's I like it that way. Make a belt. More like a belt. Sorry. Club fleshlights. It's a really good idea.
Is it going to have branding in that? What's it going to be modeled after?
It is jimping, Tom.
Oh, hopefully not too aggressive.
Tasteful jimping.
Okay.
Looking forward to the Salt Para 3, and Mannix.
The Mannix is the Mannix. Oh, a G10 Mannix, right? Because the lightweight one's out. The last reveal they had so much stuff, and I'm not tuned in like I used to be. There's a lot of new stuff that's like in stock from that last reveal right now, like the Spy 27 Para 3 I saw was in stock. A couple things are starting to hit the shelves.
This is what you missed, Jonathan. Spy 27, by the way, guys, that is a steel that was invented by Eric and Sal Glesser. It's a Spyderco everyday steel. It's designed to be somewhat tough, somewhat easy to sharpen, and also stainless. And it's a good steel. It's I like using it. I like cutting with it. I find that it's pretty easy to sharpen. It strops well. Really good steel. It's not it's not what you'd call a super steel. It's kind of in the range of like a 35 VN or a 30V in terms of performance.
So I'm just going through my list.
We'll get to some hot food talk in a minute, but Tom's going to take us through some limiteds exclusives that are available.
I used to do, and it was kind of a pain in the ass, a list of everything that was in stock, and I'd keep track of it, and it was just pain. But I'm just going to go through some top hits, and this is probably the top hit of the hits, is the DLC Crewwear. That's dark forest green. It looks very good. It's not black. Para 3 lightweight. I got one right around here somewhere. I don't know what, maybe if you have bad experience with Para 3 lightweights, they've figured it out since then, but all the Para 3 lightweights that I've had in the last year have fantastic action. This one's centered. You can center them if it's not centered, but it's put together just fine. And $152, that's kind of like the new standard price for Spyderco stuff. So
yep,
that's what it is. You're not going to find anything much cheaper than that, like for a DLC blade. Remember when Crewwear first started like getting popular and like this shit like disappeared instantly just because of the name?
Yep.
So we got that. Swoop some of those up.
Before you move on, Tom, if you guys want a really, really good everyday carry pocket knife, Crewwear is a great choice. It really is. It's tough. It's substantially more tough than, say, M390. It's substantially more tough than 45 VN or 35 VN. It's a really good tough steel that's going to withstand daily use. And in terms of edge retention, it's a little bit worse than 30V, but it's still a really great all-around pocket knife steel. It is not stainless, so you're going to find that it does change color over time. This one has a DLC coating. The DLC is not a rust-proof coating. It's not a patina coating. It's
I will say though that Crewwear's got like 12% chromium. It's not stainless technically. I have stained it one time. I spilled teriyaki sauce on a Mannix and I didn't see it, and then the next day I came back and that spot was teriyaki colored, but I was able to scrub it off with a rust eraser.
So it's pretty. It's not. Yeah, it's not M4 right or Maximate in terms of stainlessness. It's not that bad, but for an everyday carry, Crewwear is a fantastic choice because you're going to be able to actually use the thing. And you're not going to suffer a lot of chipping, a lot of brittleness. It's not a brittle steel by any measure.
And the most important part about this is from a dealer that's like very important to the community. Whether you know it or not, Travis has been around longer than me and Jason by a lot, and he's a great dealer to support. So if you're looking for a knife to buy and you want to support somebody, go grab one of these things. They're great.
Yeah, Travis is one of the kindest people I've ever met. He's a wonderful guy, kind soul, gentle guy, and he loves supporting the knife community. So let's support him.
So Knife Joy, I think, is going under the radar because I think some people are intimidated by some of their colors. But if you're looking for a Para 3 and you want to scale swap a knife and you want to have a really, really badass Para 3 for a good price, you want this. Because for $160, this is the only limited G10 Para 3 you can buy right now. It's got a good steel, and it's a good price because it's been around for a little bit. If you don't like the scales, switch them. If you do like the scales, awesome. I just know they're very polarizing because it's not black or whatever. It's a bold choice. But if you can get past that, that is a solid scale swap knife for anybody. And this I saw pop up is on sale. Is I know that they just restocked their Damascus Delica and Endura, but this is also in stock as the Endella, which is, in my opinion, the right size for these knives. The Endella is a good size in the hand. Endura feels huge. Delica feels a little too small. Endella, right in the sweet spot.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, and Chris Miller at Knife Joy said he would be sending a couple of these to Tom and I to check out, so we could talk about them on the show. They're really excited about promoting those Damascus because they have the exclusive on that. It's the only place you can find those. So if you like Damascus, the Spyderco Dama is really pretty.
I mean, I don't know how they make it. It's VG10 steel with some process done to it, but it looks really cool. And that's all that matters, right? Is it looks really cool. That's the point.
The contrast is great and the pattern is cool. Yeah, they look great.
And we touched on this one, but GP Knives has probably the best deal of any exclusive on sale right now. They have this Manix lightweight.
If you want to draw a diagram that has the convergence of edge retention, toughness, and stainlessness, Rex 45 is right there. It's significantly more tough than M390. The edge retention is way better than M390, and then for stainlessness, not really stainless. It's a tool steel, but
you're cool colors though, really cool colors.
You're going to find that steel is more resistant to patina than like M4. So
it doesn't get dark. It gets the reason I like Rex 45 is it's definitely not stainless, but it patinas light in color. It's very pretty. It's not like dark like M4 gets, and you have to I spilled an energy drink on mine twice, and that's why I had to patina them.
It's also fairly high hardness. You're going to get it around 65. So high hardness means it's just
the most important thing about this release, besides its low price point, is those are screws. Those are not rivets. So this is a Manix lightweight that you can disassemble. You can go buy your AWT lightweight conversion kit that just came out and put that blade and that lock and AWT scales, and you have your money. There's also another brand that makes them. I heard people mentioning yesterday. I don't remember what it is though.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah. And lastly, I believe we have you got to pick up this. This guy, they got a couple. Blade HQ's got another Manix in mint green with M4 DLC blade for $5 more. That's another great option. This one, I don't think you can get more Spyderco for the money than a M4 Yo Jumbo for $180.
Hey,
if you've never handled the Yo Jumbo, they're freaking huge. It's not. Yeah. It's kind of like Yo Jimbo is like pretends the size of a native, and the Yo Jumbo is the size of a native chief. They skipped the middle step and just went like, let's make it huge.
It's like Sal was hanging out with Cold Steel and he said, "Hold my beer." That knife is huge. It really is.
If you are a fan of the,
why is it still in stock, Tom?
What?
Why is it still in stock?
Because it doesn't have a lock bar relief.
I've had an ass full of people telling me how great the Gale Bradley 2 is. Like, this is it's the best Spyderco of all time. It's so butter knife fast. And then here it is in crew wear, and it's still in stock. I can't believe it.
It's been in stock for a little while.
A lot of people make killer scales for those knives too. So if you don't love the color, you can get a new scale for it.
Yeah. Let's see.
This is, by the way, guys, this is not a paid advertisement. Tom and I are not paid to talk about this stuff. We're just excited about new knives, and so we imagine you guys are too. So we're talking about it.
Here's an example of what I mean by contract prices for exclusives. Look how much the Jade Crewwear is compared to the now MAP price carbon. Fake carbon fiber M4. It's $30 more. $30 more.
Crewwear exclusive is $30 less than standard with laminated G10. Laminated G10 carbon fiber.
Carbon fiber sticker. Oh,
Tom and I don't love the Gail Bradley too. If I ever meet Mr. Bradley, I'll probably have to let him punch me in the face. I just
don't get me wrong. I think looks wise, it's like the same as Sabenza was for me. Like it's a good looking knife. The Sabenza, I learned to love the flaws. The Grail Bradley, they've become more irritating though. Like the lack of the lock bar cutout. I know that sounds stupid, but it kind of really sucks to use.
It doesn't make me as mad as the explanation, Tom. He said he did it on purpose so the
I
knife
know.
doesn't accidentally close.
Yes, I know.
If I had a nickel for the number of liner locks that accidentally closed in my hands, I'd have a nickel. I don't understand. So, yeah, I've the way that I say it, Tom, is I've almost kept two of them. I bought one, sold it, and I bought another one, and I sold it. And the one that I had second had a lock bar relief, and it was the better of the two, and I still sold it. Not wrong, but it can be dyed. You can
And a
do
lot
better.
of
You can
people
replace
like
it.
are really into it. Like, ask Stephen Thompson his opinion on JG10 and what you should do to it. Nothing. You better not dye it. Ruin them.
The JG10 is magical, brother. You don't dye it, you don't change it. I don't know why you'd ever change it, Tom. There we go. I have to put more throat in it if I really want to nail it, brother. For those of you who don't know, that was a little Stephen Thompson for you, Esquire. These guys like the old one better. It's like the Volvo version. It's like the old Volvo or Saab. You know those old Saabs that are like.
This is gone under the radar.
Oh, look at this. Hold on, Tom. What do I need to do to the Gail Bradley 2? Offer a lock bar cutaway mod where people mail you the knife and then you grind away a Spyderco hole-sized, like the diameter of the hole. Just grind away that amount of the lock bar of the liner. Provide a little more access.
And since it's a Seiki knife and it's a liner lock, all the edges are kind of sharp. So if you can go ahead and just smooth out all the metal and make it really comfortable, it'd be great.
Yeah.
This is, I think, this is from the last reveal, and these are in stock now. I don't know if people realize that, but if you want as we were talking about earlier, a Sage 5, and you don't want a peasant's S30V version, there's your Maximate version. You can't beat that, really, except for when the Rex 121 version comes out. But for now, there you go.
Can I just tell you, I really love Maximate, like a lot.
I know you do. You have a love affair with it, and you have for a long time. Our most watched video ever on our YouTube channel is called Maximate is for Big Boys that Jason made, and it still gets hits and it's still earning money, like 8 cents a month or something like that, but it's earning money. It's
8 cents a month?
Right now.
Cents, literally multiple cents a month.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Ones of cents.
I mean, I've made $7.59 in the last 2 months on YouTube.
Brad, your name isn't showing up. Brad, log out, log back in. Your name's not showing up. D10 on the GB2 is soft. Yeah, it is. It's soft. On all the parts feel stamped. Yeah, I said it.
It's because they are.
I wanted to love it. I don't love it. There's better knives for the money.
Seiki knives are expensive, and they do not feel as nice as Taichung or American knives. I've handled some, like the Little Temperance 3 is a good knife, but it's also like $200 for an FRN knife. So I don't know. Their stuff is just expensive out of Japan.
Save yourself $70 and buy that GP Knives Manix 2 and Rex 45, and you will not be sorry. Every time you open it and cut stuff with it, you'll be like, man, this is a really good knife. Yeah, it is.
Oh, I did buy one more thing.
I know, Blake. It just was a Brad comment. I know.
I got excited because we got our tax return back. I'm like, ooh, I'm going to do some Amazon shopping that I've been meaning to do. And I bought a smart scale so I can track my weight loss. And it is intense, and it does all sorts of weird things that I don't know how accurate they are, but it'll at least track trends of like BMI and muscle and fat. all the bad reviews for my scale I bought, I did some reading because there's a lot of them and they're not that expensive, is people were offended because the scale made them feel bad because it does like smiley faces and frowny faces and like good job or you need to work on this. It's a brutally honest scale. I'm classified as extremely overweight on my thing. I'm like, oh, well, fuck that. I'm going to have to prove the machine wrong now. It's motivational, but all the
Didn't
negative
they call
reviews
you
are,
Tubbo or something?
oh my God. It gave me my body type. Muscular overweight. Ooh.
Yeah, that was
Sounds
my
fancy.
favorite part. It said your muscle tone is excellent. I'm like, what the fuck? No, it's not.
I got muscle under this. Trust me. I'm going to use it.
How is your muscle toned? Like, what does toning mean?
Not tone. It's just muscle mass, I think. I don't know. That was the only thing that was okay. Are you in near the eclipse
Ooh, let's get to
totality?
that in a minute. Yeah, we'll talk about that. There's a question back here that I wanted to hit that we missed. Why does the swayback get so much hate? I love that thing. I'm glad you love it. I don't love it. I've held it, and I know that I don't love it.
My hand feels like, I don't know. It just feels like upside down.
The whole time I hold it, I wonder why it's upside down.
Yeah.
So don't love it.
Man, that knife got some hype. That was like the next Sliz release after the Bowie. And then it just went plummeted.
For those of you who don't know, knifesteelnerds.com has intuitive charts about the knife steels that are out there in the market. And if I look at 10V and I look at Rex 45, they're virtually the same in terms of toughness. 10V is coming in at about 7 or 8, and Rex 45 is coming in at about 6 to 7. The Rex 45 is just slightly harder than the 10V. But if I look at the edge retention, one moment, please. 10V's edge retention is as good or better than S90V and 110V. It's better than K390, and it is significantly better. Not significant. It is somewhat better than 45. So your Rex 45 on the Katra test, it gets about 625, whereas 10V is looking at 800. So you're talking about, what is that? It's probably 30% better edge retention on 10V. So 10V is better edge retention. Toughness is, we're going to call it a wash. In terms of stainlessness, the 45 is less.
Less
45
likely
is
to rust.
more stainless than 10V. 10V is pretty much a stain. It's going to stain. So if you have your choice between the two, 10V is better than Rex 45, I would say. Man, we got tons of questions in the comments here, Tom. Lots of people watching. I thought everybody'd be watching basketball, but I guess I don't know my audience.
I even watched a basketball game the other day. I had to see. It was the most watched women's game or most watched sports event of the year besides like the Super Bowl and like one NBA playoff game.
What was?
The Elite Eight game of Iowa with Caitlin Clark playing, I forget who, but they keep on breaking records on women's basketball on the Iowa games. They keep on surpassing everything.
She's only the greatest female player of all time.
So people are like, gotta watch it before it's over. Makes sense.
I guess so. I'm watching basketball, and I don't like basketball. So you asked a question right before I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was looking at a map today, and I saw this big stripe across the middle of America.
Yeah.
Didn't look closely enough, but are you near the totality of the eclipse?
Hell yeah, brother. It's going right over our heads. I'm taking the day off.
Are you actually in it, or you have to drive or anything like that?
No, we're in it.
Oh, nice. I watched it. Portland was like this far on the map away from the stripe, so it's still pretty good. I watched the 2017 one on top of the second tallest building in Portland on a roof, and I'm afraid of heights, so that was kind of weird. But it was pretty amazing. I understand why people are freaking out about it because it's pretty fucking cool. Like the coincidence that The moon is 400 times less size than the sun, and it's 400 times the distance. Just the fact that it magically works out is fucking crazy. How it works.
Yeah, when it's completely eclipsed, it blocks the entirety of the sun.
But
Exactly.
but
And
not
all
like
you
a whole bunch more or a whole bunch less. It's like,
right.
how did that happen?
Yeah.
That's freaky.
It's like it was intended that way.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's a big deal, right? It's something that in my life, that one that you saw from the roof of the thing, I also saw it from Indiana, and it was a partial, and it was definitely creepy. Like as it occurred, it got darker and darker outside.
It's cold
It
too.
got the color and the texture and the nature of the light that you're observing changed. So it wasn't cloudy. Like you might think, well, I've been in an overcast day. I know what that looks like. Yes, you do. That's not what happens. It's different. The light is different. So as it approached, it became more and more creepy. And then we didn't get anywhere close to a total eclipse. It was like 60%, but it was significant enough that the birds stopped chirping,
Yeah.
it was weird. It was definitely weird. So, but I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be 100% where I live. The little boy across the street's been selling glasses like a savage. He's just been slinging glasses to people. He sets up a little booth at the driveway.
Been trying to figure out how that market works because how many do you make? How do you get them? How do you sell them in this time? I don't know. I was watching it this morning. This guy sold 500,000 pairs of glasses. Do you have some?
I have 4 pair.
Okay, good. Where'd you
Yeah.
buy them?
I don't know. I didn't buy them. My wife got them somewhere.
Oh, okay.
My daughter got some at school, and then we had some.
I don't
My
have
sister
any.
bought some that fit over top of glasses. I wish I had some of those. Y2K all over again. Yeah, it'll be just, hey, mark my words, it'll be just as bad as Y2K.
Oh, it's true.
It'll be just as bad. That's right, buddy.
I was watching today's show and they're showing like hotels in towns. Maybe you're aware of these towns, but Midwestern towns I've never heard of where the best Western and the Super 8 hotels are selling nightly rates of $900.
Yeah, I tried to get a hotel room early in the week in Dayton, Ohio, and my app laughed at me.
Oh, just for work, not for the
Right, right. As
I
it
need
is,
to
I'm
work,
paying I'm
people.
paying double. I'm paying double what I should on Wednesday. I don't know why. It's Wednesday.
That's funny.
4 plastic ones, $18 Amazon. Yeah, my sister bought 5 of the plastic ones for $10 or something like that. James Gadd will let you stay here for a Bowie. What's what's a scam?
Glasses.
The glasses?
Just look at the sun. What's worst gonna happen?
Sorry, I did that backwards. No, it's pretty easy to tell whether the glasses are effective or not. Like wear them outside on a very bright day and then put them on and you won't see anything until you look at the sun. Like nothing gets through but the sun. So pretty cool. I'm excited. It's one of those things that I'll probably never see another one in my lifetime. So
No. There's one next one's like in 20 years, but I don't know where it's probably not going right over your head again.
it probably won't. And to be able to do it with my kid, that'd be fun.
Yeah, because your eyes and your teeth are add-ons. They don't count as part of your health. So it's not
Well, they're
covered
not
by
part of
health
your
insurance.
body. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, they don't count.
Yeah. Well, Tom, I enjoyed the tour through the stuff that's available. You guys need to go support your local knife dealer. They need your help.
So if you guys have never experienced, if a lot of people just live in our group, which I appreciate, just stay here. But if you ever venture out and look at other Spyderco groups, the questions and the answers and the comments are very different than our group. And today I was on the official Spyderco group to check it out. and someone posted a link to Amazon about where you could buy a smock for $178 from a third-party seller.
Was it you?
Not anymore, no. So I left a nice kind comment like, this is Spyderco's page. You're advertising something that's not a map. Just support your dealers. And I started listing off some of the dealers just off the top of my head that I know in the group. I think I stopped when I got to like 7 or 8. And I know there's a shit ton more than that. So support these guys. They, they're in the groups. They watch what's going on. And it's a lot better than, getting ripped off on Amazon for something that's fake.
Oh, and I want to do another lap around this. Guys, if you believe that you're being scammed and you believe that somebody's taking advantage of you and you want to warn the world that you might be dealing with an evil agent, I want you to go to EDC Go No Go or EDC Deal No Deal and report it there. I don't want you to post your post in our group. Here's why. We're seeing an increase in guys that are just basically carrying, they're being Karens, and they're like, I just want you to know this guy's suspicious. And they're dragging people's reputations through the mud with no evidence. And if somebody's being a scammer, then let's see it. Bring the receipts or get out. I don't want to see a bunch of complaints about, I think somebody's sus and I need to let the world know. Like, that's just Karen behavior. So take it over to Go No Go, take it to Deal No Deal. They have rules and regulations about how to report stuff on purpose because the innocent deserve to be innocent until proven guilty. So don't post the stuff in our group. We're going to delete it.
Unless, to be clear, like if someone's like a real scammer and you do it the proper way and you've talked to me and Jason and you can show screenshots of things gone bad and prove something, that's the problem is no one follows through. I saw one the other day that was like, so-and-so doesn't pass the smell test, just FYI. I'm like,
right.
That's
so-and-so doesn't pass the sniff test. Like, what does that mean? It doesn't pass the sniff test. Do you have any evidence? No evidence.
A common complaint I get is someone said, I was doing this deal with this guy and then I was trying to lowball him and then he blocked me. I think he's a fucking asshole. I'm like, no, you're the asshole. Like,
maybe he is an asshole. It's not illegal to be an asshole. Also, it didn't happen in our group. That's the other problem.
Stuff that happens in the group of people just complaining that deals fall apart or so-and-so blocked me and I really wanted to buy his knife, but I was going to offer him $100 less than I asked for. I just want people to know. People should know.
I got accused of sympathizing with the scammers the other day.
Oh,
and it really
my
pissed
God.
me off for the amount of time I've spent trying to police scammers. You better believe I'm not on the side of scammers, but I'm also not on the side of vigilante assholes that think they can roll somebody's reputation through the mud with no evidence. It's not all right. Gotta have proof. Thanks, Facebook user. I got called a scammer for asking someone to post a pic of a knife with a spoon.
I will say, you also get to review a lot of screenshots of conversations. Some deals, when you read them, like, they hurt my head. The whole thing, like the whole way through it, it's just like, this is gonna fall apart. Your guys' communication with each other is so, like, you're asking the guy directly, are you a scammer? Like, I see that all the time. Like, people questioning the person, and it just throws the whole vibe off of the sale. It's like, this is awkward situation now.
You want a definition of feudal? In the dictionary, in like Merriam-Webster, what it reads is sending Tom screenshots of a conversation. That's feudal. Tom will not read your shit. Just so you guys know, send him screenshots of a conversation. Tom is incapable of reading it. It's like Sanskrit.
Sometimes I do.
Goes, I don't know. It's like whatever.
Like,
to Jason.
Scrolling. I do read the scammer ones. It just takes not on the moment. But sometimes
there's 19 screenshots. I'm not reading this.
What's the summary?
TLDR.
God, some of the deals I have to read screenshots for, like, they make side deals. That's where it really goes wrong. It's like, I'll throw in a tenacious if you do this, and like, here's a flashlight.
Right.
This is odd.
Did the knife run away with the spoon? Yeah, I thought of that in my head too at the same time. Well, Tom, it's that time of the evening where we should probably wrap it up. What did you learn today?
I learned that when you at everyone a post, there's got to be some asshole that makes a comment about it. There's just got to be some asshole. There's getting less though, because every time I use at everyone and I ban the people who are assholes to me, there's less of them the next time. So I guess it's working. If I at everyone something, it's because I want everyone to know, like, hey, right now there's a giveaway going from Garage Tech where you can win titanium screws for your military too for 5 lucky winners. And no one was seeing the post because, of course, Facebook was burying it. So everyone did because I want you guys to participate with a cool giveaway. I don't get anything from it. I'm doing it for you. So don't be a dick to me if you get one notification. I get several hundred a day. So getting one and getting excited that you got tagged in a group and you click, I understand you got tagged and you're like, oh, someone wants to talk to me, and you get there and it's an ad everyone and you get let down. I understand.
Everybody do at Tom Moore in the comments so that he gets a couple notifications. We'll see if he quits.
It's okay. It's okay. But getting one notification and then having to go click on it and then angry face emojiing it and then leaving a response is a bit excessive.
I learned that Marmite is English. That's what I learned.
Thanks
for watching, everybody. Glad you could be here. Thanks for being a part of the show. Thanks for watching on a basketball night. I'm surprised at the viewership. Stay moist, everyone.
Super moist.